Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayanti. Nashtaprayesha Patresha Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhagavati Naishtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, Chapter 10, the trunk, branches and sub-branches of the Chaitanya tree. Text 30 onwards. Chaitanya Parshad Shri Acharya Purandar, Pita Kari Yare Bale Gauranga Sundar. Shri Acharya Purandar, the ninth branch, was a constant associate of Lord Chaitanya's. The Lord accepted him as his father. It is described in Chaitanya Bhagavat that whenever Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the house of Raga Pandit, he also visited Purandar Acharya immediately upon receiving an invitation. Purandar Acharya is to be considered most fortunate because the Lord used to greet him by addressing him as his father and embracing him in great love. So that was Purandar Acharya. Damodar Pandit Shaka Premite Prachanda Prabhu Rupare Yehu Kaila Vakya Danda. Damodar Pandit, the 10th branch of Chaitanya tree, was so elevated in love of Lord Chaitanya that he once unhesitatingly chastised the Lord with strong words. So that was Damodar Pandit. Next look, Danda Katha Kahive Age Vistara Kariya Dande Tushta Prabhu Tare Pathaila Nadiya. Later in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, I shall describe this incident of chastisement in detail. The Lord, being very much satisfied by this chastisement, sent Damodar Pandit to Navadvip from Jagannath Puri. Damodar Pandit, who was formerly known as Shabya in Brajdham, used to carry messages from Lord Chaitanya to Shachi Mata. And during the Rath Yatra festival, he carried messages from Shachi Mata to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Shabya Gopi in Krishna Lila, she became Damodar Pandit here. Tahara Anuja Shakha Shankara Pandita Prabhu Pado Padhana Yara Nama Vidita. The 11th branch, the younger brother of Damodar Pandit, was known as Shankar Pandit. He was celebrated as the shoes of the Lord. Sadashiv Pandit Yar Prabhu Pade Asha Prathame Nityananda Yar Ghare Vasa. Sadashiv Pandit, the 12th branch, was always eager to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. It was his good fortune that Lord Nityananda resided at his house when the Lord came to Navadvip. It is mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Khanda, chapter 9, that Sadashiv Pandit was a pure devotee and that Lord Nityananda resided at his house. So, Shri Narsimha Upashaka Pradyumna Brahmachari Prabhu Tara Nama Kaila Narsimhananda Kari. The 13th branch was Pradyumna Brahmachari. Since he was a worshipper of Lord Narsimhadev, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed his name to Narsimhananda Brahmachari. He was another great devotee, and the service that he did, it's amazing. We'll read about it. Pradyumna Brahmachari is described in the Adi Lila, 2nd chapter of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya who changed his name to Narsimhananda. While coming from the house of Raghav Pandit at Panihati to the house of Shivanand Sen, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the heart of Narsimhananda Brahmachari. To acknowledge this, Narsimhananda Brahmachari used to accept as eatables the food of 3 deities, namely Jagannath, Narsimhadev, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, 2nd chapter, verses 48 through 78. Upon receiving information that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was proceeding towards Vrindavan from Kulia. So Kulia is Navdeep. Narasimhananda absorbed himself in meditation and by his mental activities began constructing a very nice road from Kulia to Vrindavan. Here Prabhupada did not tell us detail, but it is mentioned in later chapters in Adi Lila. The road that he was constructing, and it was only in meditation he was constructing this road. When he heard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going from Kulia to Vrindavan with his associates. So the road he was constructing to make sure that it was befitting Mahaprabhu's walk. So it was all made of jewels, precious jewels. Wide enough road for everybody to travel and cool jewels so that the heat does not bother Mahaprabhu, and smooth jewels. So they don't hurt Mahaprabhu when he is walking and dancing in Kirtan. Now, when Mahaprabhu is walking with so many devotees, and it's a long walk from Kulia or Navdeep to Vrindavan. So he was, in his mind, he was making the places to sit for Mahaprabhu to sit down and take rest. And all those places, again, made of pure jewels and very valuable jewels. In his mind, he's doing all this. And there would be gardens on his way. There would be places he could have prasadam and water to drink. So he's making all these things in his mind, in meditation. But when Mahaprabhu reached, there's a place called Kanai Natshala in Bengal. So when he reached that place, so the road he is constructing, when Mahaprabhu is walking, this is what he is thinking. When Mahaprabhu reached Kanai Natshala, his meditation broke. And then he declared that Mahaprabhu is not going beyond Kanai Natshala. He's coming back from there. So this Kanai Natshala is after Ramkeli. Ramkeli is where Mahaprabhu met Rup Goswami and Sanatana Goswami and Anupam Goswami, who's Jiv Goswami's father. And Mahaprabhu gave them his instructions and initiated them also. And from there, he started walking towards Vrindavan. And Rup and Sanatana Goswami told Mahaprabhu that it's not good to go to Vrindavan with so many followers. Better go alone. So Mahaprabhu heard that. And then he understood that the mood should be to go to Vrindavan alone. And so he reached Kanai Natshala with all his associates, but then he did not go further. So this was, and can you imagine the meditation of this Narasimhananda Brahmachari? How powerful that meditation is. So this is what devotees could do. So this was Prabhupada's writing. All of a sudden, however, he broke his meditation and told the other devotees that this time Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not go to Vrindavan, but would travel only as far as a place known as Kanai Natshala. This is described in Madhya Lila chapter 1, verses 155 through 162. The Gaur Ganadesh Deepika says, Aveshascha tathagya mishre pradyumna sangyake. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed the name of Pradyumna Mishra or Pradyumna Brahmachari to Narasimhananda Brahmachari, for in his heart Lord Narasimhadev was manifest. It is said that Lord Narasimhadev used to talk with him directly. So, obviously not an ordinary devotee, but he is a devotee of Lord Narasimhadev, not even of Radha Krishna. But he is also a devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So obviously in Vaikuntha, he is in Narsingalok and also in Navdev with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So by the mercy of Mahaprabhu, one jiva, one living entity, can be at two places in the spiritual world. How do we understand? We cannot understand that. It's so simple as that. It's only by Mahaprabhu's mercy, just like other devotees also. We read about this devotee was Shabya Gopi, Damodar Pandit was Shabya Gopi. So Shabya Gopi is in Krishna Lila, but he is Damodar Pandit in Mahaprabhu's Lila. And this Mahaprabhu Lila is not just it happens only on earth. It's a Nitya Lila in spiritual world also. So same person is at two places. नारायण पंडित एक बड़ा ही उदार चैतन्य चरण विनु नाही जाने हार. Narayan Pandit, the 14th branch, a great and liberal devotee, did not know any shelter but Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. Narayan Pandit was one of the associates of Srivas Thakur. It is mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavatam, Khanda 8th chapter, verse 36, that he went to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri with the Thakur's brother, Sri Ram Pandit. So that was Narayan Pandit. Shriman Pandit Shakha Prabhu Ninja Vritya Dyuti Dharin Yabe Prabhu Karena Nritya. The 15th branch was Shriman Pandit, who was a constant servitor of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He used to carry a torch while the Lord danced. Shriman Pandit was among the companies of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when the Lord performed Sankirtan. When Lord Chaitanya dressed himself in the form of Goddess Lakshmi and danced in the streets of Navadvip, Shriman Pandit carried a torch to light the way. See, it's not that every devotee has to have some very high service of kirtan or something that is very majestic. He was only carrying a torch to light the way when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing. And he is the 15th branch mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But in Mahaprabhu's mind, everybody is wonderful. Everybody is important. Shuklambar Brahmachari Bada Bhagyavan Yara Anna Magi Kadi Khaila Bhagwan. The 16th branch, Shuklambar Brahmachari, was very fortunate because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jokingly or seriously begged food from him or sometimes snatched it from him forcibly and ate it. It is stated that Shuklamba Brahmachari, an inhabitant of Navadvip, was Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first companion in the Sankirtan movement. When Lord Chaitanya returned from Gaya after initiation, he stayed with Shuklamba Brahmachari because he wanted to hear from this devotee about the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Shuklamba Brahmachari collected alms of rice from the inhabitants of Navadvip, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took pleasure in eating the rice that he cooked. It is said that Shuklamba Brahmachari was one of the wives of the Yagyik Brahmins during the time of Lord Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. Lord Krishna begged food from the wives of Yagyik Brahmins, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed a similar pastime by begging rice from Shuklamba Brahmachari. So this Yagyik Patnis, Brahman Patnis. So we know the pastime, and these Brahmins, they were all doing yagya, and the wives were making arrangements, cooking bhoga. And Krishna, Balram, and all the sakhas came, and Krishna sent the message. And he sent the Gop sakhas to go and beg food from these Brahmins. And the Brahman said, no, it still has the yajna is going on. It is not performed yet. And who is this Krishna Balaram? They have come before us. So who cares? So Gopsakhas came back. But then Krishna said, no, okay, go back again. But now this time go to the wives of these Brahmins and ask them, tell them Krishna Balaram are here. And they're very hungry. And the Sakhas went and they told, and all these wives of Brahmins, Yogic Brahmins, they just packed everything. There's a Krishna Balrama here, that is a perfection of any yajna. So we would rather go and feed them. So they all came, they fed Krishna Balram and his Sakhas, and Krishna was very pleased by their service. And then all the Brahmins, they understood their mistake, that Krishna is supposed to be satisfied. That's the purpose of the yajna anyway. So Shuklambar Brahmachari, one of these wives, she came as Shuklambar Brahmachari in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. Nandanacharya Shaga Jagati Vidita Lokaya Dui Prabhur Yar Ghar Sthita. Nandanacharya, the 17th branch of the Chaitanya tree, is celebrated within the world because the two Prabhus, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, sometimes hid in his house. So this Nandanacharya's house is very close to ISKCON, Mayapur. When we go from ISKCON's gate towards Ganga, then this Nandanacharya's house is there. Nandanacharya was another companion of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during his Kirtan pastimes in Navadvip. Srila Nityananda Prabhu as Avdhuta traveled on so many pilgrimages, and when he first came to Sri Navadvip Dham, he remained hidden in the house of Nandanacharya. It is there that he first met all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his Mahaprakash, he asked Ramai Pandit to call Advaita Prabhu, who was hiding in the home of Nandanacharya. For Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understand that he was hiding. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya also sometimes hid in the house of Nandanacharya. In this connection, one may refer to Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Khanda, chapters 16, 6 and 17. So all three of them, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, they all hid in the house of Nandanacharya. I still haven't found his form in Krishna Lila. Who was he? That everybody was hiding in his place. So must be somebody, some special confidential associate of Mahaprabhu or Krishna. But all three of them, at different times, they hid at the height in the house of Nandanacharya. Shri Mukunda Datta Shakha Prabhur Samadhyayi Yahara Kirtana Nache Chaitanya Gosai. Mukunda, the class friend of Lord Chaitanya, was another branch of the Chaitanya tree. Lord Chaitanya danced while he sang. Shri Mukundatta was born in the Chattagram district in the village of Chahara, which is under the jurisdiction of the police station named Patiya. This village is situated 10 kroshas or about 20 miles from the home of Pundrik Vidyanidhi. In the Gaur Ganesh Deepika, it is said, in Vraja there were two very nice singers named Madhukantha and Madhuvrata. They appeared in Chaitanya Lila as Mukunda and Vasudev Datta, who were singers in the society of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and great singers. When Lord Chaitanya was a student, Mukunda Datta was his class friend, and they frequently engaged in logical arguments. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya would fight with Mukunda Datta using tricks of logic. This is described in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Adi Khanda, chapters 11 and 12. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned from Gaya, Mukunda Datta gave him pleasure by reciting verses from Srimad Bhagavatam about Krishna Lila. It was by his endeavor that Gadadhar Pandit Goswami became a disciple of Pundrik Vidyanidhi. So this we discussed the other day. When Mukunda Datta sang in the courtyard of Srivas Prabhu, Mahaprabhu danced with his singing. And when Lord Chaitanya, for 21 hours, So Shat Prahar Mahaprakash Leela, when he did that, exhibited an ecstatic manifestation known as Shat Prahariya. Mukundatta inaugurated the function by singing. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised Lord Mukundatta by calling him Khala Jadiya Beta, because he attended many functions held by different classes of non-devotees. This is stated in Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Khanda, chapter 10. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dressed himself as a goddess of fortune to dance in the house of Chandrasekhar, Mukundatta began the first song. So this pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastising Mukundatta, I believe it happened during the time of Mahaprakash Lila, when every devotee was coming and taking blessings from Lord Chaitanya. And Shrivas then said, my dear Lord, Mukundatta is standing. He's afraid of coming before you to ask for any blessings. And Mahaprabhu said, Mukundatta, he will never get love of God. Why? But Mahaprabhu said, he's good singer, but like the term used here, Khada Jatiya Beta, means Ganga ge to Gangaram, Jamna ge to Jamnaram. When he goes and attends the functions in different houses, different places, then he sings whatever they want him to sing. If it is about demigod, and he sings praising the demigod. If it is Mayavadi, then he sings like that. And when he comes in the company of Vaishnavas, he sings Vaishnava songs. So he'll never get Krishna Prema. And Mukundatta was at the door of the house of Shiva's Pandit and was going to leave. And then Shiva says, Mahaprabhu, will he never get Krishna Prema? Is there any chance of him getting Krishna Prema? Mahaprabhu said, yes, after 10 million lifetimes, he'll get Krishna Prema. Either 10 million or 1 million, something like that. And Mukundatta, when he heard that, he started dancing in ecstasy, jumping. Yes, after 10 million lifetimes, I'll see Mahaprabhu, I'll get Krishna Prema, I'll see Krishna. He started dancing. Mahaprabhu said, what are you doing? He said, this is actually, at least it is guaranteed after 10 million lifetimes, I'll get Krishna Prema. This is so wonderful. Mahaprabhu said, just call him here. He has so much of faith in my words that he is ready to wait for 10 million lifetimes. So I'll give him Krishna Prema this lifetime. So this is how merciful Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. Okay, further Prabhupada says, before disclosing his desire to take the renounced order of life, Lord Chaitanya first went to the house of Mukundatta. But at that time, Mukundatta requested Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to continue his Sankirtan movement for a few days before taking sannyas. This is explained in Chaitanya Bhagavat. The information of Lord Chaitanya's accepting the renounced order was made known to Gadadhar Pandit, Chandrasekhar Acharya, and Mukundatta by Nityanand Prabhu. And therefore all of them went to Katwa and arranged for Kirtan and all the paraphernalia for Lord Chaitanya's acceptance of sannyas. After the Lord took sannyas, they all followed him, especially Shri Nityanand Prabhu, Gadadhar Prabhu and Mukundatta followed him all the way to Purushottam Kshetra. So in this connection, one may refer to Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat Antyakanda. In the place known as Jaleshwar, Nityanand Prabhu broke the sannyas rod of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mukundatta was also present at that time. He went every year from Bengal to see Lord Chaitanya at Jagannath Puri. So wonderful, wonderful associates and so much of devotion they had and so much of service they rendered for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pleasure. It's just amazing. Okay, I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. Okay, you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.